Happy Father's Day week, dads. Now, you might not be feeling like it's a great week because I know as a dad to dad here, it's sometimes hard to really keep it together, right? We got a million things going on. You might be feeling exhausted, irritable, like you're barely keeping it together. Well, here's the thing, you're not alone. And likely, if you're like me, you're probably not telling anybody about it. You're just grinning it, biting the bullet, whatever you want to call it, and going at it for your family, for yourself, for everything you've got to do. See, here's the thing. About 15% of fathers actually experience anxiety due to the overwhelming demands of being a dad, fatherhood, being a guy in this world. But no one talks about it. And I think that's just normal. Between juggling work responsibilities, family needs, attempting to maintain your own health, you're caught in this endless cycle of stress that wreaks havoc on your body and mind. And it just doesn't come out as a dad bod, right? Even though sometimes we think it's just about skipping workouts. It's actually the physical manifestation of chronic stress that keeps your brain and nervous system locked into this fight or flight mode. So then you're irritable, you're exhausted, you snap back at your family sometimes because there's so much going on and so much overwhelm. But here's what most healthcare providers, and I know as guys, you don't really like going to healthcare providers. That's okay. But here's what they're not telling you. Chronic stress doesn't just affect the physical side of it. It doesn't just affect metabolism, a nice line, and gaining weight and how in shape you are. It actually can compromise your nervous system health. It can compromise relationships. It can compromise your ability to be a dad and a husband and really just have that extra energy that you can pour out for your family. And really, here's why. And here's why I want to share this with you, because this has truly been my cheat code, having 4 kids, going crazy with work, going crazy with trying to accomplish things, doing my best for everything. I like to run a lot, do all these things. I've had to keep my nervous system in a really good place. And here is why. The nervous system has 2 primary modes: the sympathetic fight or flight response and the parasympathetic rest and digest state. Here's the thing. If you're a dad like me, a guy, you probably live in that fight or flight mode quite a bit. But when you're constantly juggling work deadlines, family responsibilities, the financial pressure of life, maintaining those relationships when there's just no time, our body doesn't just live in sympathetic dominance, it gets stuck there. So when it's there and that gas is pressed down 24/7, that just causes this chronic activation of those sympathetics, so they get tired. The cortisol can only prop us up for so long. Then that's the stress hormone that helps us respond to fight or flight, to emergency, to protection mode. And it's good for true emergencies, but it's not good all the time for us dads, guys. Your nervous system wasn't designed to handle that level of sustained stress, even though we want it to, and even though we train it to, and even though we try to, leading to what is called, we call it dysautonomia. That's a dysfunction in the autonomic nervous system. It impacts nearly every bodily function. This is actually why there's this cascade of burnout that affects us guys that sometimes doesn't happen right away. But when we have that chronic sympathetic dominance for a long time, elevated cortisol levels, that eventually leads us to full on exhaustion. So it's not just a dad bod. It's not just abdominal fat, muscle loss, overall physical decline. It's the stress hormones that affect how we feel, how we interact, our emotions, our ability to recover. All of those things combined, along with the inflammation that triggers that, leads to this huge cascade where it can affect everything: immune health, cognitive health, cardiovascular function. It's no surprise that when you get stuck in this sympathetic stress mode, it oftentimes brain fog, memory issues, reduced patience, diminished ability to regulate emotions. It's not just a character flaw. It's a neurological response to a sympathetic exhausted state. Here's the thing, if you're dad, is we try to get out of this ourselves. I know from it, right? It's like, okay, I'll work out more, try to maybe get a few more hours of sleep, take my vitamins, and the health hack that maybe your wife gives you or something like that. But a lot of times that health advice is just from the outside in approach. It's not really working with that nervous system that's already exhausted, that's already overwhelmed, to allow it to refuel and to give it the energy at the root cause to help it build back up. See, the irony is we need those healthy behaviors to heal, right? The working out, the eating right, doing all those things. But chronic stress has depleted the very reserves we need to even start those practices. So it's literally a vicious cycle that we just can't get through. So then willpower alone isn't enough to get us back on track. We have to address the root cause of that fatigue. And that's at the neurological level first. That's how it has helped me so much to keep my energy up, by making sure my nervous system has that energy. The cortisol isn't going crazy. The sympathetic nervous system isn't all on all the time. And it gives us this cheat code for neurological health. And that is neurologically focused chiropractic care to keep that nervous system balanced. See, adjustments directly address subluxations, which is essentially just neurological interference that keeps your nervous system stuck in that stress and exhausted mode. A lot of times you think of chiropractic, you're like, well, neck pain, back pain, headaches, all those things. But like we said, it's not just the physical side of it. That's the manifestation of that stress. It goes a lot deeper than that. And it's very rooted in emotions and energy, and allowing your body to have that energy to refuel and rock what you need to do. It's not all hocus pocus and lotion, all those other things, the lotion, the potions, the things like that sometimes we get and we're like, I'm not trying that. I'm a guy, right? I'm telling you what, chiropractic is not weird. It's just something that's going to allow your body to refuel better. The nervous system helps us first to balance that sympathetic system. And so then what actually patients report is they sleep a little better from that balance, right? You don't get enough sleep, you might as well sleep better. Reduces the pain and tension, enhances your mood, gradually helps improve your physical health, gives you more energy to work out, gives you more motivation to eat right. So think of it as hitting that reset button, if you will, on an overstressed nervous system. Nothing more than that. And here's what makes our care different from most standard chiropractic care. At PwC Chiropractic, we use advanced insight technology. So then we can measure what's going on. We can see where the exhaustion is. If you've got low back pain, if you've got pain kind of in this gut area and the adrenal area and all those energy areas for us, we're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to be like, well, that matches up. That's exactly what I feel. And that scientific approach allows us to create personalized care plans based on these measurements, and then not just be generic with it, but really get after what you need. So you're not just going to feel great. You are, but you're going to function great, and you're going to see all these other improvements with it. And so we would love to get at the root cause, the signs, the signs that you're seeing deeper rather than just temporarily masking them. So our care approach is designed to really restore that root cause, optimal nervous system function first, and that's going to be the catalyst for everywhere else in your life. So addressing this root cause is key. If you've got exhaustion, we're here to help. You're not alone. We've all felt this way before, where it's just that vicious cycle of, I don't have the energy to do it, but I know I need to do it. Let us help by digging into your nervous system. Countless dads in our practice have experienced this transformation just within weeks of beginning care. They actually report better sleep, mood, reduce pain, return to energy first. And those are so key as the catalyst for all of us. Because with a dad, right, you give us just a little bit and we will take it and we will get after it. And we want to be at our best for our families. So don't just celebrate this Father's Day, make it a true awesome Father's Week and a catalyst for the rest of the year. So we would love to see it. We'd love to do a consult, love to give you this in-person assessment with these insight scans. That's really going to help us find that root cause and then get after it with a personalized plan to help you get your energy back, get your health back, and get you slack in the rope to do big things for you and your family. Take care. Be well. Have a happy Father's Day. Click our link in the bio if you want to learn more. Take care, dads. Have a great week.